A pressure vessel is said to be a thin shell when the ratio of wall thickness of the vessel to its diameter is 1/10. A equal to B less than C greater than D. The correct answer is less than. According to Euler's column theory, the crippling load of a column is given by P2EICL2. In the Euler's formula, the value of C for a column with one end fixed and the other end hinged is 1 to A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is true. A tensile test is performed on a mild steel round bar. Its diameter after fracture will A remain same, B increase, C decrease, D depend upon rate of loading. The correct answer is decrease. Two closely coiled helical springs A and B are equal in all respects, but the diameter of wire of spring A is double that of spring B. The stiffness of spring B will be that of spring A. A 1/16, B 1/8, C 1/4, D 1/2. The correct answer is 1/16. The strain energy stored in a body when suddenly loaded is the strain energy stored when same load is applied gradually. A equal to B 1/2, C twice, D 4 times. The correct answer is 4 times. The shear force at the center of a simply supported beam with a gradually varying load from 0 at both ends to W per meter at the center is A 0, B WL4, C WL2, D WL22. The correct answer is 0. The proof resilience per unit volume of a material is known as modulus of resilience. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is true. According to Unwin's formula, the relation between diameter of rivet hole D and thickness of plate T is given by where D and T are in mm. A dt, B D 1.6 T, C D 2 T, D D 6 T. The correct answer is D 6 T. The relation between equivalent length L and actual length L of a column for one end fixed and the other end hinged is A LL2, B LL2, C LL, D L for L. The correct answer is LL2. The total strain energy stored in a body is called proof resilience. A agree, B disagree, C, D. The correct answer is disagree. The thermal stress in a bar is proportional to the change in temperature. A directly, B indirectly, C, D. The correct answer is directly. The section modulus of a circular section about an axis through its CG is A D24, B D216, C D316, D D332. The correct answer is D332. In the above question, the normal stress on an oblique section will be maximum when is equal to A 0, B 30, C 45, D 90. The correct answer is 0. In the below figure, curve D represents mild steel. A yes, B no, C, D. The correct answer is yes. Which of the following is a proper sequence? A proportional limit elastic limit yielding failure, B elastic limit proportional limit yielding failure, C yielding proportional limit elastic limit failure, D none of the above. The correct answer is proportional limit elastic limit yielding failure. The neutral axis of a beam is subjected to stress. A 0, B maximum tensile, C minimum tensile, D maximum compressive. The correct answer is 0. When a load on the free end of a cantilever beam is increased, failure will occur. A at the free end, B at the fixed end, C in the middle of the beam, D at a distance 2L3 from free end. The correct answer is at the fixed end. According to Euler's column theory, the crippling load of a column is given by P2EICL2. In this equation, the value of C for a column with both ends hinged is A14, B12, C1, D2. The correct answer is 1. The strength of the shaft is judged by the torque transmitted by the shaft. A yes, B no, C, D. The correct answer is yes. The shear force at a certain point on a beam changes sign from VE value to VE value or vice versa. The bending moment at that point will be 0. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. In a riveted joint, when the number of rivets decreases from the innermost row to outermost row, the joint is said to be A chain riveted, B zigzag riveted, C diamond riveted, D none of these. The correct answer is diamond riveted. A spring when loaded is permanently distorted and recover its original shape when the load is removed. A agree, B disagree, C, D. The correct answer is agree. When a rectangular beam is loaded longitudinally, the shear force develops on the top layer. A agree, B disagree, C, D. The correct answer is disagree. The capacity of a strained body for doing work on the removal of the straining force is called A strain energy, B resilience, C proof resilience, D impact energy. The correct answer is resilience. The given figure shows the Morse circle of stress for two unequal and like principal stresses X and Y acting at a body across two mutually perpendicular planes. The tangential stress is given by AOC, BOP, COQ, DPQ. The correct answer is PQ. The hoop stress in a thin cylindrical shell is A longitudinal stress, B compressive stress, C radial stress, D circumferential tensile stress. The correct answer is circumferential tensile stress. A body is subjected to a direct tensile stress of 300 MPa in one plane accompanied by a simple shear stress of 200 MPa. The maximum normal stress will be A 100 MPa, B 250 MPa, C 300 MPa, D 400 MPa. The correct answer is 400 MPa. A simply supported beam A of length L, breadth B and depth D carries a central point load W. Another beam B has the same length and depth but its breadth is doubled. The deflection of beam B will be as compared to beam A. A 1/4, B 1/2, C double, D 4 times. The correct answer is 1/2. The moment of resistance of a balanced reinforced concrete beam is based on the stresses in A steel only, B concrete only, C steel and concrete both, D none of these. The correct answer is steel and concrete both. The load at which the column just buckles is known as A buckling load, B critical load, C crippling load, D any one of these. The correct answer is any one of these. The Rankine's constant for a mild steel column with both ends hinged is A 1750, B 1600, C 7500, D 9000. The correct answer is 17500. The rectangular beam A has length L, width B and depth D. Another beam B has the same width and depth but length is double that of A. The elastic strength of beam B will be as compared to beam A. A same. B 1/2. C 1/4. D 1/8. The correct answer is 1/2. A simply supported beam with a gradually varying load from 0 at B and W per unit length at A is shown in the below figure. The shear force at B is equal to A WL6, B WL3, C WL, D 2 WL3. The correct answer is WL6. A tensile test is performed on a round bar. After fracture, it has been found that the diameter remains approximately same at fracture. The material under test was A mild steel, B cast iron, C glass, D copper. The correct answer is cast iron. In a simply supported beam carrying a uniformly distributed load W per unit length, the point of contraflexor A lies in the center of the beam, B lies at the ends of the beam, C depends upon the length of beam, D does not exist. The correct answer is does not exist. Modulus of rigidity may be defined as the ratio of A linear stress to lateral strain, B lateral strain to linear strain, C linear stress to linear strain, D shear stress to shear strain. The correct answer is shear stress to shear strain. A body is subjected to a direct tensile stress of 300 MPa in one plane accompanied by a simple shear stress of 200 MPa. The minimum normal stress will be A 100 MPa, B 250 MPa, C 300 MPa, D 400 MPa. The correct answer is 100 MPa. The ratio of linear stress to the linear strain is called A modulus of rigidity, B modulus of elasticity, C bulk modulus, D Poisson's ratio. The correct answer is modulus of elasticity. A riveted joint may fail by A tearing of the plate at an edge, B tearing of the plate across a row of rivets, C shearing of rivets, D any one of these. The correct answer is any one of these. A shear stress across a plane is always accompanied by a balancing shear stress across the plane and normal to it. A true, B false, C, D. The correct answer is false. The bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam loaded in its center is A right-angled triangle, B an isosceles triangle, C an equilateral triangle, D a rectangle. The correct answer is an isosceles triangle. A load which acts at a point on a beam is not called uniformly distributed load. A agree, B disagree, C, D. The correct answer is agree.